Stacks is miserable.
Then I'm going to, with 1 mana floating, cast Luminarch Ascension. And then with that 1 mana floating, as well as the mana from my Ancient Den, I'm going to cast Thorn of Amethyst.
Wow.
Stacks is a slog.
He's got 5 mana.
It's true. I changed my mind. The only thing I want to do, though, is tap 4 of it for Grand Arbiter Augustin IV.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, your spells cost more and mine cost less.
I'm okay with that.
Stacks is for people who hate fun and hate magic.
Then I'll use the blue and the green, as well as another green, to cast Phantasmal Image.
Ooh. Oh, no.
Okay, it'll be a Grand Arbiter.
Seems good.
What is Stacks, and why do people talk about it this way? I'm Jim, I'm your Spike on the mic, and today we're going to be talking about playing Stacks in Commander. I've had some good feedback on these Spike on the Mic episodes. A lot of people seem to like it, which is great. If you like it, one thing that you can do to help me out is hit that like button, leave a comment to let me know, and maybe also share it with your friends. That's one way that you can tell the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video and all of our other videos to more people. These videos don't get quite as many views as our gameplay videos or our Better Know a Combo explanation videos, so if you want me to spend more time writing, recording, and editing these, you definitely got to let me know. Thank you all so much for your support, and let's get right into it. Commander games are often dominated by decks who want to create a benefit for their pilot. They'll ramp, draw cards, play some permanents, maybe gain some life. They're looking to win a good clean race by showing up at the racetrack with a good pair of shoes and having eaten a good meal beforehand. But that's not the only way to cross the finish line first. Stacks is a strategy that seeks to create relative benefit for its pilot. Instead of drawing a card, it might force everybody else to discard a card. Instead of playing a rampant growth, it might blow up one of everybody else's lands. The net result ends up being the same. You're up a card or you're up a land, but the way that you got there is drastically different. They've arrived there by subtracting from their opponents rather than adding to themselves. They've shown up at the racetrack with 1 billion gallons of water and a boat. To tie a bow around it, this is my definition of Stacks. This might not be the 100% consensus, but I do think we need to solidify it a little bit just to make sure that we're all talking about the same thing. Stacks is a strategy that advances its pilot towards victory by reducing the efficiency of in-game transactions and creating resource disparities. Within this definition, there's really 3 main takeaways. Number 1, Stacks reduces the efficiency of in-game transactions. I'd define an in-game transaction as any situation where you can trade something for something else. Now, I'm sure when you think of in-game transactions, you're probably thinking of something obvious, like Trinisphere, making your spells cost more. And that's a great example. Transactions can also be pretty abstract, though, like how you can wait a turn for your permanents to untap. You're trading time for resources in this transaction, and Stacks pieces like Winter Orb mean that you need more time to obtain the same amount of resources. Number 2, Stacks creates resource disparities. This is really important. A lot of Stacks effects are symmetrical in that they affect everyone the same way. And if you just play them out to slow everyone down, they become way more frustrating than they are effective. With Stacks, you need to find a way to benefit, at least in relative terms, from what you're doing. Number 3, I left this one for last because I think it's the most important part of this definition, so say it with me. Stacks advances its pilot towards victory. Stacks is a means to an end, not the end itself. It's a way to create time and space for you to put together a way to end the game, but you should always be moving towards that. So now with that out of the way, I want to leave you with my 10 tips for playing Stacks in Commander. Number 10, you have a responsibility to let your opponents know what they're getting into. Stacks can be a pretty unpopular strategy, and not everybody enjoys playing against it. Don't wait for somebody to speak up about it. Do the right thing before the game, tell people what you're playing, and be open to changing decks. Number 9, you have a responsibility to listen. If even one person at the table looks uncomfortable with what you're doing, put it away for the night. It's not worth ruining everybody's day. We all have a limited amount of spare time, and we want to spend it doing things we enjoy. It's not okay to have fun at the expense of the other people in your playgroup. Number 8, you can be 100% correct about why Stacks is necessary in a playgroup and still be 100% incorrect for playing it. Stacks can be an incredibly effective strategy against combo decks or unfair decks that cheat on resources. Reducing the efficiency of in-game transactions often neuters high-power strategies like fast mana, tutors, or finely tuned repetitive game actions that grant their controller a whole whack of resources. If this is what you're playing against in your playgroup, rather than jumping headfirst into stacks as a strategy, talk to them about it. Tell them that you feel like that's the only way that you'll be able to keep up with your decks, and see what they say. For some people, they'll relish the challenge. But for others that don't want to play in a stacks environment, the response might be to power down their decks. Fixing social problems in social ways is always better than trying to fix them with game pieces. Number 7. I'm going to say it again because it's worth repeating. Stacks is a means to an end, just like ramp. It's meant to create an environment where your deck has an easier time winning than your opponent's. Have a way to win, don't rely on people scooping. Number 6. Stacks players are not sociopaths, psychopaths, fun killers, or losers with no friends. If you find yourself tempted to personally attack people for their deck choices, try not doing that instead, because you're not adding anything of value to the community or any conversations by making comments like that. We can have a totally valid discussion about reading the room and being empathetic to others, but these are totally different discussions than playing stacks as a strategy and whether or not you should enjoy it. Number 5. If you're having problems playing against stacks players in your meta, be a human adult and talk to them about it. When you have this conversation, try to focus on the type of experience that you want to get out of a game night with your friends. But also turn an eye inwards and think about the things that you might be doing to push people in this direction. Playing a game of Magic can be competitive, but enjoying an EDH game night with your friends is a cooperative endeavor, and sometimes you have to give a little to get a little. Number 4. Stacks effects tend to cost a little less when they affect everyone equally. Good stacks decks either amplify this effect for their opponents or mitigate it for themselves. This is called breaking parity or breaking symmetry in some situations, and you can do it in a number of ways. You can do it by adding more pieces, like using your Muldrotha to play the cards you discard to oppression. Or you can do it by building your deck in such a way that it's not affected by what you're imposing on the table, like leaning into rocks and dorks while everyone else is pinned down by your Winter Orb. Number 3. It's okay for people to like playing stacks and you don't have to talk to them about it or play with them. And number 2, it's okay for people to not like playing stacks and you don't have to talk to them about it or play with them. I'm talking about these because they're often two sides of the same coin and it's a source of so much conflict in our community. If you like playing stacks and you're playing it responsibly against a receptive playgroup, more power to you. You don't have to convince anybody, especially on the internet, that what you're doing is valid. If you don't like playing stacks, try to acknowledge that some people do. There is a genuine challenge in trying to solve a puzzle and trying to overcome and squeak out that victory against all odds. It's the same reason why speedrunners sometimes impose ridiculous restrictions on themselves, like beating a game without picking up items, or not being able to turn left. It's what keeps gameplay fresh and interesting for them, and it forces them to come up with creative solutions to problems that they've just taken for granted before. Finally, number 1. This shouldn't come as a shock, but if you take one thing away from this video, please let it be this. Have a way to win. Stacks advances its pilot towards victory. I've said it 3 times in this video, and I'm going to keep saying it forever and ever and ever. Don't rely on people scooping, have a way to win. That's all I have to say about stacks, but I want to hear what you think. Do you have a problem with stacks in your meta? Or better yet, have you solved a problem with stacks in your meta? Let me know in the comments below. I really do want to hear about it. I'm Jim, I've been your Spike on the mic, and thanks for talking stacks with me today.
Hey, thanks for checking out the Spike Feeders on YouTube. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you click that subscribe button. And you can click this link to check out our other great videos.